All right, the lineups are out. Arsenal is obviously going to be taking on the side of PSV, Endo Heaven, down in Netherlands, and we are here to obviously see who Arsenal is going to hit to flaunt and who the side of the side of PSV is going to hit to flaunt as far as this beautiful game of football is concerned. Smash the like button, comment, and share. If you're already watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And I'm having Paul Sozi already in here for you, telling me that Rokani, you can predict this game now because lineup is out. At first, you say the draw, and now tell us. Obviously, I'm going to be letting you know exactly what my thoughts are about this fixture after really showing you who has gone ahead to be flaunted in by which manager for their respective teams. And when you look at this, you see to it that they're having Benitez, that is PSV, Teze, Ramalho, Obispo, Mauro Jr., Van Aanholt, Itilman, Saibarai, Bakayoko, Dangerman, Pepe, and Vastessen in there for you. Then the substitutes, Dromel, Waterman, Sambo, Dest, I think that is Serginho Dest. Then Buscoglari, Opegard, Till, Babadi, and Luke de Jong onto the bench of that side of PSV. Then there comes the starting 11 of Arsenal: Aaron Ramsdale, Cedric Soares, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Jakub Kiwior, Jorginho, El Nini, Kai Havertz, Trossard, Edin Ketia, and Reiss Nelson. Then the subs: David Raya, Hein, Ben White, Walters, Zinchenko, Sousa, Declan Rice, Nwaneri, Emily Smith-Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, and Gabriel Jesus. That is the starting 11 of Arsenal and the substitutes being named. And almost, if I already watched my match preview, anyone who is here and watched my match preview, you can easily understand that I called it right. 90%, I called it right. Why? I say 90%, I called it right. You remember, I think the only player I never saw coming to this is William Saliba, right? But for the rest of the players, I was really sure that that's what Arteta is going to do because he has nothing to lose in this beautiful game of football that Arsenal are going to play in a nick of time from now. Now, when we go to their formation, Arsenal have gone with a 4-3-3 system, as you see it there. Aaron Ramsdale comes in goal. I predict that's going to start because I knew there is nothing that Arsenal has to protect in this game, and you have to play the second choice players. And Aaron Ramsdale right now at Arsenal, like hate or hate it, he's a second choice goalkeeper. At Arsenal, it has been decided by the manager amidst the very many mistakes that David Raya is going to hate to make in just a spell of like 2-3 months at Arsenal. He is the first choice goalkeeper, and Ramsdale comes in to obviously get a test of what Champions League football is all about, because he's one of those players that led Arsenal to the Champions League and has not been given a chance to obviously play part into the Champions League. At the beginning of the season, he was the main man, but when Raya came in through, he was on the bench for some games as Arteta tried to integrate him in the team, and finally he has gone ahead to make a decision of really benching him. Cedric Soares, right back. Obviously, I got to know that Cedric Soares is going to be part of this side of Arsenal because Tomiyasu is out, Julian Timber is out, who would have gone ahead to come in and really play into this position. So he had to obviously play him into that position, and that is Cedric Soares. Left back is Jakub Kiwior. As I went ahead to predict that Jakub Kiwior is going to play as a left back, though I thought Ben White is going to play in the central defense with Gabriel Magalhaes, but I was going to hit obviously bring in William Saliba. I think this is the only player that I never really got right. But for the rest of the players, I predicted them right, and they are the real players that this manager has gone ahead to bring on. Then in the midfield, Jorginho, Trossard, and El Nini. Yeah, though for my case, I thought that Trossard is going to play as a right forward and Kai Havertz is going to be played into the midfield. But Kai Havertz being played as a right forward. Sorry about that. To me, it's a huge statement being made by the manager. that maybe he's looking at him as one of those players that can easily come in through and obviously put in a shift, you know? So I really understand what the manager of Arsenal is really doing, because he wants to see, can Kai Havertz play as a right forward? And it will be a very huge question that Kai Havertz has to answer. But at Chelsea, we obviously saw him go at Chelsea and obviously play as right forward and put up lots and lots of results. So for him, I anticipate that he can really put up a show away in PSV. And when playing teams like PSV, who don't obviously play what we call a low block, if you are Kai Havertz, it's the best game for you to obviously thrive when you're playing in such a system as the right forward of the club of Arsenal. Then Reiss Nelson, left forward. I called it right. I really knew that it was the time of Reiss Nelson to come in and obviously do the needful and obviously play his part into this beautiful fixture of football. And I would love to see him really thrive, because he's a lad of huge potential. He's a lad of very, 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 very huge potential that Arsenal wanted to keep him and really keep him on their contract. But when they kept him, it looks like he's not getting the amount of game time that he always wanted. And I don't know whether his thoughts of really signing an Arsenal contract of 4 years won't be regrettable for him, because I think for what they're going to have to put up in the final bend of the season, very many teams would have gone ahead to come in through and obviously understand exactly what he's all about, and they would have gone ahead to give him a very huge contract and some good amount of money that would have gone ahead to obviously make him comfortable. Like Brighton, I just imagine him at Brighton would have been really thriving left, right, and center, because even right now as we speak, very many players like Ansu Fati are really injured, and I think De Zerbi would have gone ahead to enjoy him. And very many of the teams were interested in Reiss Nelson, but Reiss Nelson said, no, I'm staying at Arsenal. Maybe he enjoys to be at Arsenal other than playing regularly, but if at all he was a serious player who needed game time at the age of 23, 2-3 years to your prime, you would have gone ahead to knock on the door of the manager and tell him, please, what guarantees me to start in this club? Because when you look at the left forward positions, there are very many players that have proven to be better than me. You know, Martinelli, Trossard, you know. So how am I going to come into the starting 11 of Arsenal? That would have been one of the biggest questions that Reiss Nelson would have gone ahead to pose to Mikel Arteta. But he never went ahead to pose such questions. And guess what happened? He found himself really doing the right thing according to him. But Arsenal have gone ahead to make some huge changes, by the way. If you have to count the number of players they've gone ahead to change that never started the game of Aston Villa, they're really huge. Ramsdale, Cedric Soares, Jakub Kivio, El Nini, Jorginho, Trossard, Reiss Nelson, Edin Ketia. 8 players. Arsenal has gone ahead to make 8 changes. And which players have been rested by Arsenal? David Raya, Ben White, Zinchenko, Declan Rice, Odegaard, Jesus, Martinelli, and Bukayo Saka. 8 players have been rested, and you all know why. These players have been rested because Arsenal, in the next 2 weekends, they're really having huge fixtures. And starting with this weekend, they're hosting Brighton at the Emirates. And next weekend, they're going to be playing at Anfield against Liverpool. So if you know, you know, right? If you know, you know, but it's good for these players to get rested. And because in the midweek, Arsenal is not going to play any game, these players are going to rest for 7 days. And they'll also rest for 7 days as a to play against Liverpool. And I think that will work out well for the club of Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta will be a happy man. The same applies to PSV. They've gone in for a system of 4-3-3. That is Benitez in goal, Tezi as the right back, Van Holt left back, Ramalho and Obispo central defense, M Junior, Tillman and Saibari. They are playing in the midfield 3. Then Bakayoko, danger man, and Yakubu Kivyo needs to be at his best to obviously do the need and obviously stop this guy. He's playing as a right forward. Vastesen, left forward, and Pepe is leading the line. By the way, I thought that maybe Luke de Jong would come into and obviously start, but Bakayoko is really the star man this time around. Is going to hate to put in a shift that everyone is going to hate to admire onto the games that's going to hate to play as a player of PSV to an extent that even the likes of Arsenal have been linked to him, Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United have been linked to this guy because of what he brings up on the field of play, and he's really one of those that you obviously give a benefit of doubt. We go to Ojok Paul. It might be a draw. All right. Thank you very much for watching him through. Listening from Oman. That is Ivan KUG. Then Nashemeza Sharon. I wish my Arsenal will win. I wish my Arsenal win the game today. All right. Thank you for watching through. Then Ivan KG. 1-0 in favor of Arsenal. By the way, for me, I'm sorry to say, but I see a draw. PSV, when they're playing at home, they are a very deadly team. Why do I call for a draw? Because these teams want to settle. Both teams, a draw works for them. You know, if Arsenal draws, they'll be at 13 points already through. And if at all they draw, PSV will be at 9 points. And them getting 9 points in this group, they will be already qualifying for the next round of the Champions League. And it's really very important to understand that a lot is set to happen into this game. But there are key points that we should really matter or that we should really look at into this game. First and foremost, the threat of Bakayoko. How can Arsenal stop the threat of Bakayoko, by the way? Because Bakayoko is really a very, very good guy that is going to hit, obviously, raise up to the occasion. So I'm seeing a draw written all over this game. I don't know what your thoughts are about the game, but for me, I see a draw written all over this game. Then Mwemenke James is calling in for a 2-2 draw. That is it. He's trying to be like Mikash Ivan, Arsenal 2. All right. What else? Serum Kuma Ali, I think Arsenal is going to lose, but I want to see how the boys play. Yeah, because PSV come into this game when they need a lot of it. But it will depend on the words that Mikel Arteta is going to hate to tell to the fans, to these players of Arsenal in the dressing room as they walk to the pitch. Because if the manager charges them well, they can come in through and obviously get to where they want to be. And I think all will be well for them. Then Moses Njuguna Rokani, does this mean Arsenal have qualified to the round of 16? That's why all those players are out. Yeah, they qualified the moment they beat RC Lons 6-0 at the Emirates. That is it. And they're going to hate, obviously, lose one game away from home. You know, that is against RC Lons. They went out to Sevilla and won that game by 2-1. So it shows you how hard it really gets when you're playing a team like that, because it's having a very huge support behind it. The supporters of PSV never stop. Even when they're losing, they never stop. And you're obviously going to hear them roaring onto that entire pitch, you know? That energizes the players, and it affects some players of Arsenal who are really afraid of what this team is always going to bring onto the line. Then Amosi Nyakahuma, please, PSV will win so many changes, all right? But that doesn't mean that Arsenal cannot win. But I'll be surprised if at all Arsenal really wins this game. And Arteta will act like a man who really looks a genius if at all he wins this game of football, because a lot is up onto his plate for him to finish. But we all understand that Arteta has always been Arteta, and he's going to hate to shock most of us with various decisions that are going to hate to work for him well. It's really a challenge to the Gunners to impress the manager. Wish the best Gunners. Wish you the best, the Gunners. So you're wishing the Gunners the best, but PSV is really a very hard nut to crack when they are playing at home. I told you over the weekend, I think they played away at Hereven and they won by 2-0. So they're having Bakayoko, and there is another danger man on the bench that can come on through and obviously change that game, and that is none other than Luke de Jong. the number 9. And Arsenal last played in PSV last year. The game ended 2-2, and it never really went in favor of no one. So with people like Bukayo Saka on the bench, maybe the manager will obviously try to use that situation that obviously he gets them along and do the job very, very well. But it's really a sad moment that PSV are really being called as the losers of the night. And for me, I don't see them as the losers of the night. You know, I see them as a team that is going to obviously fight its way through to come to the Champions League and then compete for the Champions League. And they are going to be a very highly competitive team. And if at all you are an Arsenal fan from anywhere around the world watching us, don't go into that game really 100% sure of win, because you'll get shocked. You will get shocked. You will get shocked because PSV is really a very good team, and they're really playing at home. So them playing at home, it is really very important to note that it's all what they need to qualify. They need 1 point to qualify because they're having 8. If they make it 9, even if the other team really wins, they'll be at around 8-7 points, and they cannot obviously dislodge the side of PSV. And for PSV, they want to qualify to go to the next stage because they know that means a lot of money. Having pocketed close to £50 million for really getting participating in the group, then they have a chance to really win another huge game to really vehicle them into the new round of 16, of the Champions League. And you would obviously see to it that it's obviously gonna really come up, and they're obviously going to do the needful. I'm having Ojokpo, Rokani, I see a draw, not a loss. Yeah, but Arsenal's chances of getting a win are like 20%. Draw, sorry about that, guys. Let me stretch a little bit, guys. So, I was telling you that Arsenal's chances of getting a draw are like 40%. A loss, 20%. And, a draw is like 50%. A win for PSV, it's 30%. Then the other is 20% that can obviously do the needful, that everyone really wants to watch. And everyone would love to watch this game of football. And I know you guys are going to enjoy it from wherever you're going to be. Christy Ongino, well done, brother. Thank you very much for the updates. All right, thank you. But let's talk about the return of Emile Smith-Rowe into the squad of Arsenal. I told you last time that Emile Smith-Rowe is one of those people that all those players that is back and he's training on the grass. He returned onto that. He has been really ahead of Thomas Partey in his recovery, and the manager have gone ahead to give him time, and finally he's into the squad of Arsenal. When you look at the squad of Arsenal, it's really good, but I think the only thing lacking in that squad is the seniority of those players, because you'll need them to be at their best, and their seniority will obviously come into play every time they're really playing the beautiful game of football. So Arsenal has a chance to obviously do the needful and really go, because ever since they played against RC Lens, Arsenal has not gone ahead to lose a game of football in the Champions League. So they've gone ahead to beat Sevilla. They lost to RC Lens, and now they're coming through to do the needful and really take on the side of PSV, and PSV is obviously doing wonders left, right, and center, and they're one of the teams really giving Feyenoord a run for the trophy this season, and you really understand what that means. So you guys, hope you're really having a fantastic stay wherever you are. Rokan David is my name. You can as well go into the comment section, tell me what you think about the lineup of Mikel Arteta and what it obviously sends to your mind. Is it a win for Arsenal? Is it a draw for Arsenal? Or it's a loss for Arsenal? And remember, PSV are going to come in through with a very high intensity because they want to obviously beat Arsenal. Because even last time, when Arsenal went to the last time they played in the Europa League, I think Arsenal won by 1-0, right? So that's what we had for you here onto the Rokani Media Football. We are going to return with what we call the match reaction after the game of football is done, and keep it what it is. Don't forget to subscribe. Smash the like button close to 100 times. And thank you for really loving this channel and loving me too, because it never comes easy. It never what? It never comes easy, as some people really have to come out and really say the needful into the mix. So see you later, my mates, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Now, yeah, it's true. You said about that lineup. Congratulations, brother. Yeah, that's what I really said, apart from William Saliba. But I got the rest of the lineup right. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living God bless you abundantly. I'm out, my mates, and we